The world almost went dark, not because of war, not because of a cyber attack, but because of the sun. The threat we never see. Every day the sun keeps life on Earth alive. It gives us light, heat, energy. But once in a while it reminds us of something uncomfortable. Modern civilization is not as strong as it looks. This is the story of the solar storm that nearly shut down the world, and how close humanity came to losing power, communication, and technology all at once. The day space turned hostile. It began far from Earth. On the surface of the sun, massive eruptions of energy started to form. These eruptions, known as solar flares, release enormous clouds of charged particles into space. Most of the time, these storms miss Earth, and when they don't, Earth's magnetic field protects us. But this time, the storm was different, stronger, faster, and aimed directly at our planet. Scientists monitoring space weather realized something was wrong, but by the time they saw it, the storm was already on its way. There would be very little time to prepare. When the solar storm reached Earth, it slammed into the planet's magnetic shield. The effects were immediate. Satellites began to malfunction. GPS signals became unreliable. Radio communications dropped without warning. In space, astronauts were exposed to dangerous radiation levels. On the ground, power systems began to behave unpredictably. Engineers saw strange data flowing through their systems. Voltage spikes, unstable currents, unexplained disruptions. At first, no one understood why. Why electricity is our weak point. Here's the problem. Modern civilization runs on electricity, not just lights, everything. Power grids stretch across entire continents. Satellites orbit the planet, guiding transportation and communication. Banking systems depend on constant connectivity. Hospitals, water systems, fuel distribution all rely on stable power. A strong solar storm doesn't need to destroy infrastructure. It only needs to overload it. Charged particles from the sun can induce powerful electric currents in long transmission lines. Those currents can overheat transformers, massive pieces of equipment that take months or even years to replace. If enough transformers fail at once, entire regions could lose power for extended periods, not hours, months. After the storm passed, scientists studied what had happened. The results were unsettling. If the solar storm had been just slightly stronger, or if it had struck Earth a few hours earlier, critical power systems would have failed. Entire continents could have gone dark. Not because systems were poorly designed, but because they were never built to handle energy coming from the sun itself. This wasn't speculation. It had happened before. The warning from history. In 1859, Earth was hit by a massive solar storm known as the Carrington event. Telegraph systems sparked and caught fire. Operators were electrocuted. Auroras appeared as far south as the Caribbean. That was the 19th century. Now imagine that level of solar energy hitting today's world. Instead of telegraphs, it would strike satellites. Instead of wires, it would overload power grids. Instead of inconvenience, it would cause global disruption. Scientists agree, a Carrington-level event today could cause damage measured in trillions of dollars, and recovery could take years. Why no one was ready. The most unsettling part of this story is not the storm itself. It's the fact that there was no enemy, no button to shut down, no system to negotiate with. The sun does not care about borders, politics, or technology. Solar storms are natural, unpredictable, and inevitable. Unlike hurricanes or earthquakes, solar storms give us very little warning. By the time we detect them, they are already racing toward Earth at millions of kilometers per hour. In the end, the storm weakened. Power grids stayed online, satellites recovered. The world kept running. Most people never noticed anything unusual, but scientists did. They ran simulations, they analyzed timelines, they compared scenarios, and they reached an uncomfortable conclusion. Modern civilization had survived, not because it was prepared, but because it got lucky. The question no one likes to ask: the sun will erupt again. That part is guaranteed. The only questions are, how strong will the next storm be? Will it hit Earth directly? And will we be ready next time? Because the next storm might not weaken, and if it doesn't, the world won't end in fire or war. It will simply stop. The greatest threat to modern civilization is not always something we create ourselves. Sometimes it comes from the same star that made life possible in the first place, and next time, we may not be as lucky. Could modern civilization survive months without electricity? Subscribe for more.